Right. So I think we're good with the content for now. You're going to start your planning again. If you're scared and you don't know what to do, brainstorming tab is gonna help you a lot. Go through that. You can print it out, keep it near you, copy and paste it into a Word document to make it a little more printer friendly.
Okay, Alice, one more time, reminding you that this is modern day, that we are going to get together for the live session now. If you are watching the premiere, if you're watching a recording, you can watch a recording of the session we're about to talk about. But if you're here for the study group live, then the link to the next place to meet on YouTube again is going to appear on this video and also in the description below. See you there. Okay, I'm streaming live, but I'm also watching the premiere to see if it works. It is supposed to redirect. You'd have to press the play now button, it looks like. And I better turn that off because that's gonna have me doing two things at once. So, I think we lost some people. We did have 3 here. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for coming. So I think when you do that premiere ended, there is a play now that you need to play to go to the live. I thought it made it sound like it just redirects, but it doesn't. You're here. Yes. I see you in the chat. Bible trivia board game. That's Terry, right? Are you Terry? And then gymnastics psychology, you are here. Feel free I will do my best to remember as it gets thrown at me, all the names. But if you want to share your real name, if you want to go by your display name, that's totally fine too. All right, Sue, I'm going to try to remember to, because I need to see it in writing and that will help. Oh, there's an awful echo, says Cynthia. Anyone else experiencing an echo? There might have been also because I had 2 things playing at once, right? All right. And hello, Eileen and Jerry and Sue. Hi. You want to come on the live stream, Nathan?
Do you want me to say hi?
You can say hi.
Hello.
Wait, you got a duck. Look at this. My son. Son Nathan. Did you need something?
Yeah. Do you have the USB block? I just need the block to plug.
Yeah, I think in the living room.
Sorry for the interruption.
All right, Sue and Terry's Bible. I'm going to write this down because I will forget. All right. Okay. So no echo before, but in the Q&A. Okay. Yeah. Other people are saying there is, Terry said yes to that being her name, I believe, not to the echo. Sue and Eileen say no echo. Maybe try refreshing the feed. That might work. So what we're going to do, actually, just right off the top, tomorrow, we were trying something new here with the premiere videos, and it was interesting to see how it works on YouTube. But for more practical place to go, we are going to do Zoom tomorrow. And if you go to your download page in the members area, it has the Zoom link. It also is in the Discord server. And we'll be able to share a screen too. That's the limitation here. I won't be able to share a screen. But in the Discord server, if you go and look at it, at least on the computer, and maybe, let's see if I open it on the phone. Then on the top left, it says events, right? And it says there's 8 events. And actually, if you go in there right now, you'll see it says happening now. You go to the main page of, actually, maybe, let me go back to see if you guys can see. So it says like happening now. So it should, if you mark yourself as interested in all those events, it should like tell you when we're going live, hopefully. But regardless, anytime it'll say happening now, and then there's a link of where to go. So if you're ever lost, go into Discord, because the download page has a lot of stuff on it. But if you're just not sure where to go, Discord is a great place to do that. All right. No, Eileen, it's also on the computer. And that is, it's also, I use it mostly on the desktop, But I also recommended for people who have joined us for this to maybe, even if you're going to use it on the computer, download it on your phone and turn on the notifications, maybe not sound so you don't get woken up in the middle of the night just in case, but so that you get notifications of things. I have my notifications all turned on so I could see whenever you guys make a comment or post, which I think is a big difference from Facebook, where it's sometimes hard to find if when we were using the Facebook groups, especially now, like they just don't notify you of all the stuff. All right. Oh yeah, you had the last window open. Okay, that makes sense, right? Because we move video. If you move videos, and yeah, you'll get the echo when you have it in two places. All right, so I hope that was useful, especially the run through of the spreadsheet. Now, you don't need to use the spreadsheet, but I think it really kind of guided you on focusing on the big part first, right? Figuring out for the next month. And that's what we're going to do, because we're going to do a 30-day challenge starting the 28th, that you kind of know what you plan to do for the next month. And that is always based around the promotions you plan to do. And Jerry kind of asked a question previously, and he was like, but I don't have promotions. I'm like, whatever. It's like whatever product you're promoting. Maybe you're doing an event. Maybe it's, a product launch. It could be a product you already have, but you're going to focus on getting more customers in there. So you're going to put some focused content marketing effort into that. Knowing what your promotions are first is so important so that you can tie everything in there. So those tabs on that spreadsheet kind of keep you organized that way. But if you prefer to do it another way, just maybe look at that and use it as a guide, and then use whatever tools work for you. So Cynthia actually had a question about Discord, and I'm happy to answer. And I have a few things written here and some questions I wanted to bring from the other session. Feel free to start dropping your questions in there. But about Discord, yes, it is free to host. I think there are like extra features, and there is a reason to start paying for it as well. But I haven't fully looked into those. But what we are doing, we are not paying. It's free. All right. Do you use a blog to promote the project? Jerry asked. Project? I'm not sure what exactly you're referring to. Awesome. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, Terry, go ahead and use that spreadsheet as is. And obviously it's a spreadsheet, it's editable. So, all those tabs and things that it may not apply to you, like Google Plus is still on there. I don't know if it's actually on your version, if it got removed or not. And if not, you can just delete that, because you cannot use Google Plus. Even when we did the training, it wasn't very popular. That's why you heard me ask, does anyone use it? Because it was already on its way out, probably. Yeah. Oh, okay. Promo. Yeah. So the question was, do you use a blog to promote the promo? It really depends. Like if you have how you want to do it really depends where you mostly engage your audience. So for us, it is usually email is sort of central. So is the Facebook group. So that becomes the center of the promotions, right? But we will also use our blog to post certain things. We will use YouTube. Sometimes we just, we post the video to YouTube and then we'll share it by email. Sometimes we'll put it into a blog post and we incorporate it that way. But if you've got regular readers of your blog, which we don't, because we don't publish on a, we don't treat it like a blog. It's more like articles, right? Like we post when we feel like it. But if you've got people who are following you every day, who look forward to your blog updates, which I think is more rare than it used to be in the past. Like it used to be people just read blogs, right? Then you might want to make that kind of a central place for you. But it definitely is something to be incorporated. So when you post to your blog, tell your mailing list about it, especially when it's very relevant to the promotion you're actually working on. How do you start an email list? All right. So I think I promised that must have been our free class, or was it in the Facebook live that we just, this was not part of this class. It was stuff we did before. I promised to give you guys a page, if I think it was in Facebook, and it was Cynthia, page for to-dos. Let me write that down. To-dos, page for I'm going to say beginners, not to say that you're all beginners, but we have a page that is for beginners that runs through different tools and steps and things that you can do to start. Because yeah, that's not in the training here. We aren't doing like, you know, setting up websites and things like that. But we do have some resources for you. So I'm going to find that. I'm going to post in the Discord group. It's probably going to be tomorrow though. I'll post in the Discord group. I'll also put it on the members page. So you guys have that resource. Also, you're going to look at it and there's going to be a lot there. So whenever you have questions, use that Discord, the general discussions part of the Discord group to ask anything you want. Happy to help you. All right. And Sue says, your PLR packages have a lot of graphics, infographics, ebook covers. So are people putting these up on social media as that would overload it as the same content if anyone searches a keyword? Yeah, I mean, I incorporate it strategically. That doesn't mean, you know, you got 20 graphics that you need to post them and you're going to that's going to be your entire social media over the next 30 days. In fact, I don't recommend that, right? You want to choose the ones that fit in with the message you want to send. And as we mentioned in that free class last week too, was like adding your own, you know, stuff to that. So like the reason why you're sharing it, the captions, we talked about getting ChatGPT to help you come up with captions, and you can do it yourself if you prefer to write it yourself, but you can kind of go through that. So if anybody wants to kind of go through that part, the free training, I'll also put a reminder of where that was. It might be worth reviewing as well in that case, if you want to know how to share those types of graphics. But again, it's always fitting into what you're working on. So if you've got this promotion, like we said, we're going to focus on promotions first, products and promotions. It is very unlikely that all the graphics in the package are going to be something you're going to post, right? It's not going to fit. It's not going to fit that promotion. You're going to go and look and see what will work for you. All right, super for beginners. And Sue says, so if we edit all the graphics, so have, for example, 12 steps like an infographic, and they can't be changed to 10 steps. So yeah, I don't think you need to worry. Like you can change it. Obviously, everything's editable. I always have to say that twice. It's all can be edited, right? So yes, you want to make it look different. You want it to not be recognizable. That's okay. But have you ever gone through any social stream, right? You end up seeing the same videos over and over. You end up seeing the same memes and pictures and sayings, inspirational sayings, because they resonate with people and they post them. So I don't think you need to hide the fact that, you know, other people might be publishing the same content. And in fact, like that's the thing about PLR, when you're publishing it to social media, there are chances that people are going to be, you know, reposting it, which is good, stealing it. And we can't control that, right? So it's going to be out there. Like whether, you know, we're never going to be completely original. What's original is your message behind everything. Like, why is this important to you? Why do you want to share it? And, you know, and when people already know you too, when you share these things, they're going to kind of get that message from you as well. I'm distractible too, Cynthia, so I'm going to address your question about the area on the shelves behind me. Yes, it's kind of an eclectic thing. And as I meant, well, actually, you can't see the landlord's books this time. At the top, there's encyclopedias. And at the bottom is some of her books, older books too. But a lot of what you're seeing there is mine. Oh, the artwork. Yeah, that's some of that's me. Some Youssef, my son, not the one that you saw. And yeah, a few. All right. So Jerry, let's back to the topic. Jerry, do you send out emails from an autoresponder or a daily bulk list? Perhaps you cover this in the beginners page. Not exactly. We wouldn't cover that. It's more like the technical how to, and we can give you templates and stuff to kind of set some of that stuff up. Now, how you approach it will vary. Like an autoresponder makes sense, right? That everyone comes, that means that for anybody who doesn't know that, they come onto your list, the first message they get is an autoresponder. And you should always at least have one message that everybody on your list gets when they sign up. Then you can also make a series of emails to control kind of how the flow of information goes to them. And that also makes sense when you're, offering a free thing and you want them to convert into a customer. You want to take those people all through the same process so they warm up to liking you. They kind of see that you're valuable and you're also promoting the product they signed up for. And then broadcasts are more where you have this list and you message them on a daily basis. We do a lot now with the PLR. We do a lot of broadcasting, but we are refining our systems to get a little bit more like evergreen, right? Where it's just people going through the same series, depending on where they sign up. Sometimes it can get a little bit tangled when you have so many lists and you have people on multiple lists. So that's where I've kind of gotten tripped up a little bit, but that's something we're slowing down on our big packages of PLR, doing more individual pieces so you guys can pick and choose. So now we have some more time to look at that kind of stuff. All right, Cheryl's distracted by the books as well. This is a great book, by the way. I think people think it's funny that I bought it, but if you want something like a business book that is very like super easy to read and funny and also lots of great messages, I like this one. All right. Okay. So you guys continue to post whatever you want. So I know today when we watched that, we got a lot of housekeeping stuff in the video, and then it got confusing about what's current or not. But I had done that training, and tomorrow I'll try to edit out a little bit more of that so it's not as confusing. We'll also be in Zoom where I'll be able to pause the video and say no, don't pay attention to that, where that happens, and I'll try to get some more of it out. But because I've already done the training, I wanted to use that. I feel like I would have to do a lot of studying and preparing, but I'd rather get us through this and get us into the 30-day challenge. So that will be a little clearer tomorrow if you did get a little bit confused at some points today. But the things I'd like to also, I did mention during that when there are also notes in the members area. You go to the course download page, and there are something called full session notes under each session. And they are really, there's a transcript too, which has every single word I said, and it's you don't need to, I don't think you need to read that unless you really want to, but notes, which are nicely, highly edited and really cover the main points, but in good enough detail. So whenever you've forgotten anything today, grab those notes. You can print them out. You can read them on your computer, whatever you'd like to do. But I think you'll find that really helpful. And there's no wrong links in it or anything, or it might mention Google Plus somewhere, but I apologize for that. The Google Plus doesn't exist. All right. And I think what we really, you're so welcome. Yeah, we did spend a lot of time on those. We always get in our classes, we try to do the transcripts and clean them up for you because transcripts are pretty boring and dull. And are you coming to say hi too, Sasha?
That's really
another child. She did something bad in there. Maybe you could kick her out for me. The cat is causing trouble, and I tried to keep a straight face. All right. So then, I guess what I really want to do for you, I want to answer some more questions. And I know Samuel had a question about content, but really what I want to highlight to you guys is that, also you don't to take you through this is because we're using PLR, sometimes that means that maybe, I think a lot of people take PLR because they feel like they're not an expert. And even if you're an expert, you can still use PLR. But I just want you to know that you really don't need to be. And I hope the video kind of gave you some thoughts about how we all have something special to offer. So whether or not we are like the quintessential expert, and then that's not necessary. And we don't often want to be that, because we will only connect with certain people if we are the absolute perfect expert. When we are, kind of real and people going through things, then, a lot of people will come along for the ride with us. You only need to be like a step ahead of your audience so they follow along, are inspired by you, and, go on the journey with you. And the other thing, the two things I'd like to mention is really having purpose to your content. And I think that spreadsheet does highlight that you need a purpose. Why are you publishing this content? What is it going to do? How is it related to the promotion? And it doesn't mean you're doing a hard pitch. And we're going to go through examples next week where it's, informative selling, where you're educating your audience so that they are learning something, and then they're more empowered to actually buy what you're offering. So the purpose isn't always hammering your product over their head every single time. It might be to get something free. It might be to take action on something. It might be to comment and engage with you. But you always want it to be part of the overall plan. You're doing these promotions for certain products because you feel those products will help your audience, right? So you have to, that is the goal, is to get it in their hands so they have something very useful. So all the content you publish in this promotion period should be leading them there, empowering them so that they feel like they're ready for the product. They know how to use the product. And obviously that varies depending on what you sell. So we've said you don't need to be an expert. You just need to offer something special. And there is, in your package that you got with this, like with all the PLR and the templates, that has a ideal client worksheet and whole package where you can work a little bit more on that and dig deeper into that. If you can't find that, because that's not on your course download page, that's on the bigger page. If you can't find it, just ask me in Discord. I'll find the link for you. And then, so we're not going to needing to be an expert. We have to have purpose, and we need to plan. If you do it by the seat of your pants, you can still do all right, but when you plan, it's going to work so much better. And the more you get into a practice of planning, then it's going to even be better. And then maybe after a while, when you're such a great planner and you know how it all works, you might do more on the fly kind of stuff. There we go. All right. So no, Cynthia, we do not use AI to clean up our transcripts. Zoom has some that follow you everywhere now. No, we do it manually. And because I've seen like AI produce transcripts, and they're okay. And actually, if it's one person talking, they're pretty good. If it's two people talking, I feel like it gets confused, but I don't know what tools. There maybe are some really good tools out there. If anyone knows them, share them in the general discussion of the Discord group. All right. How do we get to the members area? Yes. So, okay. So, Sue, let me just grab this link again. So this is the course download page. I'm going to give you that. So if it redirects you to a page to sign up, it just means you're not logged in to your account. So there's a link at the top suggesting member login, log in, and then try that page again. So once you're logged in, that will take you straight there. I'll also share the link to the other download page that you have. So this was because we gave you so much stuff with this. What I just shared with you is just the course download page. And if you're here for the course and challenge, that might be all you need. So I don't want to distract you too much. But this one, when you're logged in, you'll be able to see it has all the private label rights content. It has all the templates that we promised you. And, that might be a good place to go, as I just mentioned, if you need that ideal client brainstorming stuff, where it kind of helps you connect with the right people for your products, figuring out what you do differently than others and why people want to connect with you. Those templates are on that second page that I linked to. All right. Okay. And during when we were going through it, Samuel asked, and Samuel, if you're still here, I might need clarification about your question, but you did ask about the difference between blog, articles, and newsletter. And I'm not exactly sure, like, the angle of that question, like why it was asked, like if you mean you don't know the difference between those or how you handle them differently. So I'm going to answer both. So like a blog is, and articles are often the same. It depends on the purpose of your blog. I think in older times, a blog was sort of something that people updated daily, regularly, right? And then people just kind of follow the blog and they come back, right? So it's sort of a story. But we also use WordPress to create a blog, which also can just house articles where you're not publishing on any regular schedule. Or sometimes when people say blog, they're thinking of something more personal, directly from, a certain person, but you might publish whatever there. So a little tricky, but they can be the same thing. They can be different. But blog, obviously, what came from the term weblog, where it was just basically, it's sort of like a social media feed where someone would post their thoughts on an ongoing basis. And newsletter, I would say newsletter and mailing list. I don't know if a newsletter is something people have to do, maybe a paid newsletter where you're doing a lot more content and different things. But generally speaking, we're going to be emailing people with a really tight focus message and not doing that. So yeah, so newsletter is generally by email. And then we have the blogs and the articles. Now, how does it fit in is kind of goes back to what I was saying to Jerry when he asked about the blog as well, I think, right? Or like, so where the center kind of your promotion is depends on probably where you have the biggest audience, where you connect with them most. I do really recommend making sure email is one of those, because right now that is still, the top thing, because it's a commercial. People expect commercial messages. Your messages are more likely to go through. In the free class the other day, someone mentioned text messages and how like we emailed them for the free class, but we texted them, but it was the text message that got them. So text message is a great way to have a list as well. However, you probably have to use that more sparingly. You can't text people as much as you email them unless they specifically opted into something where you said you're going to send them something every day. But it's probably something that requires a more subtle approach. But also it's probably pretty reliable on getting your message through, just like email. So again, back to saying like, where is your focus? So wherever your audience really is and where you connect with them the most, as we mentioned, sort of email and the Facebook group are our centers. We kind of want YouTube to be some of that too. And that's why we're here today, because we're trying out new features and we're learning YouTube more, but we're not at that point where YouTube is where like people come to look for us. That's not it yet. So what the important part is, really focus on building an audience somewhere where you can send them commercial messages and connect with them then, and then everything else kind of works in tandem with it. All right. So Sue did get in. Our blogs, articles since ChatGPT came out, and all search engines have AI right in the sidebar. Okay, so as far as getting search engine traffic, for sure. And yeah, there's probably more competition and more noise. Let me just, then you're saying yes. So I'm actually going to just do a search on Google, how to make a Facebook ad. I don't have Google. Is Google doing that yet? Because I don't see that. Sue was mentioning, I'm just curious. Sue was mentioning how search engines are starting to incorporate. I know Bing probably does it more, right? They have an interest in that. Incorporating AI, right, where they answer the question for you. But Google's been doing a form of that forever, right, where they have all these questions and they try to keep you on their site. They take excerpts from Wikipedia and stuff like that. That's been going on for a long, long time. And it hasn't, I'm sure it impacts the difficulty in getting traffic, but it's still super viable. But one thing to think about is that you're not just going to try to get search engine traffic, right? You're not just going to publish and hope someone sees it. And in one of the sessions, there is a free search engine guide that Yusuf made. By the way, if you didn't know, Yusuf is in Sweden. That's why it's all me today. It was already planned, but we decided we wanted to do this. So I'm going to do it. And since it was my course originally anyways, but he will be joining us back again in September. So he does have an SEO guide that you can download, and it's in the course downloads area. I think it's under session 2 or session 3 as extras. I think I labeled some things as extras. But again, you're not going to just put it up and hope someone sees it. That's why I'm saying, like, find that central thing, like your email list, because you're going to post stuff to your blog and to YouTube or wherever you're going, or social media maybe sometimes, and you'll send those people to that content. That is your built-in traffic. That is why one of the great reasons to have a mailing list too. It's like built-in traffic. I'll give you an example, and it's not articles, but it's something that you can see relates. In building this YouTube channel, right? We have hit, I think, almost 2,000 subscribers now, and we did get our first level of YouTube partnership. Now, that's because we leveraged our mailing list. We have not really hit this sweet spot where and also we also don't always do a lot of keyword research before posting videos, because we're making videos for our current audience. But we haven't hit that sweet spot where YouTube is like giving us favor and sharing our stuff readily. We're doing the work. So YouTube is useful in that way, though, because it is unique. It's a video platform. So it's useful to us regardless of whether YouTube sends us traffic. But we know as we continue to grow it, that that's gonna start coming together a bit better for us. Oh, Claude. Yeah, I don't see it in the search results, but I'm not saying it's not happening. It could be just how it looks for me. All right. So Cynthia asked, do I need to calendar 2 hours or more for these things? I think that we'll probably be done at about 2 hours most times. I'm going to go and cut some of the tomorrow's session too, and we're going to talk a bit more throughout it, maybe, since we'll be in Zoom. But I think 2 hours is more than enough. And in fact, on Thursday, I can only stay for 2 hours. So if anyone wants me to stay really long, tomorrow's probably a good day for it. So bring your content plan. We can look at, I believe, because I've set it up in a Zoom meeting rather than a webinar, I believe that I could probably, I hope, give you permission to share your screen, or you can also just share a link and then I can go to the link. If you guys upload your planners, if you want to go over it together in the session, I could click the link and then I can share my screen. That'll probably be easier, actually. All right. Take care, Cynthia. See you tomorrow. All right. Well, I think, their questions came up and I answered most of them. I don't know if you can hear the kitty. She's jingling her bells around. What are you doing? Oh, scratching. You want to come say hi too? All right. Sue says, if we're starting out, we need to use your articles and infographics and on our blog and social media to start building a list. You don't need to use them. I'm not sure what you mean by there. There's Kitty in the corner. You don't need to, but they'll certainly help fill in some gaps and help you get publishing, especially if you're not used to publishing on a regular basis, right? That you've got it built in there. So you can make your monthly plan more quickly, right? And execute it over in that 30-day challenge. And through that, you'll learn a lot. You'll learn like a lot of things that don't work. And that don't be disheartened, because that's a really big part of the process of the 30-day challenges. Those weekly journal check-ins, we're going to kind of evaluate, is this working? Was there something else we should be doing, right? So using PLR and testing the waters is a perfectly good way to do that. You want to come say hi? Come then. This is Aurelia, my 5th child. She doesn't want to be in camera today, I guess. All right. Do you have topical PLR products? Topical in that, like on specific topics? Not so much. Like, it's more personal development that can be incorporated into a variety of niches. Very specific, not always. Yes, you can. You can go to EKitHub.com anytime and look at the e-kits. And those are the big packages that we have. And as I mentioned, you guys also have a $100 credit in our Shopify store, which is not open to the public yet. But that's where you'll be able to download individual items. And as we go, and that's going to be into 2024, we're going to start doing more specific topics, which is easier for us to do at that point, because when we're doing these big packages, right, we're investing a lot of money into them. We have to make sure they have a really wide appeal. But when we're talking about putting together one journal or a workbook or something on a very specific topic, that's easier for us to do in this new shop that we're doing. So a lot of the content that we have in there is still like personal development or some family stuff, maybe. Yeah, but mostly personal development for now, but we will start incorporating some more things into the new year. Because that's the balance you have to have when you sell PLR, right? Like, I actually don't know how people who sell big packages in really specific niches, I'm actually not sure how they do that, because they must have a really big and varied customer list to draw from. All right. Do we work with other authors? Yeah, a lot of our customers are authors, or if that's what you're asking, or when you say work with, let me know if I'm not understanding, if you mean something specific. To write with you. Oh yeah, we do. Well, yeah, we have a team of people who create the content, and the written content and stuff like that too, for sure. Yes. All right, I think we might wrap it up since we are coming to the top of the hour. Okay, so that one. Let me just copy this. Can I copy this link? This page is wait, oh, come on. I don't want to do that. YouTube made it a big, long redirect link. I don't want that. I'm going to grab the link again. So the coupon code is on your main download page that has everything, all the PLR, all the templates, and even a link to the course too. So that kind of it has everything on it. And I believe the coupon code is pretty near the top. So it wasn't buried down there. I don't know if I can see it in here. Maybe I can. Yeah, I'm sure it's near the top. It'll take me too long to go check, and you guys will be waiting for you. Jerry, at this time though, we're not, because we are switching to this shop. We have put a halt on doing new content at this time until we've set everything up and see how it works well for our customers. So, but definitely we will need more people soon coming into the new year, if not sooner. But you can always, in your account, you can open a support ticket, because you'll actually reach Melody, who is our project manager, but she also does the customer support. She would be hiring people. So you can say that you just wanted to let her know and to put open the ticket in the EKitHub.com account, and then there's a support area. And yeah, just say that you understand that we're not hiring writers, but let her know kind of what topics you cover, and then she'll keep you in mind. And I'll make a note as well to, bring it up when we. But if you've left her that ticket, we can find you easily again. But I'll also mention it to her that you're going to do that. All right. So I think it would be great if you guys could come to tomorrow's study session with the spreadsheet filled out as best you can. Especially like the first tab and actually, let me just give it a quick look and then we'll wrap up because I just want to see it. Definitely that first tab that has the promo list. And then the full, okay, yeah. Yeah, so definitely the first tab, but do quite a bit, maybe even a week, because you'll need to have at least a week done of the dailies. If you remember, the third tab was the dailies. You'll need at least a week of that ready for the challenge next week. So, try to do some good brainstorming in the second tab. And then the third tab, dailies, at least try to get 7 days worth. And remember, if you get lost on that spreadsheet, there is a tab at the end that says instructions. So it'll very briefly explain what was explained in the video earlier for you today. And remember, there's also the brainstorming tab that gives you tons of ideas, right? So if you're stumped on like, what kind of content should I publish? That will be good. All right, so we will see you tomorrow at the same time. And as a reminder, they will be in Zoom. So I'll be able to stop the video as needed. And I'll be able to share my screen afterwards as well. And the link is in the events. If you go into the Discord server, remember I showed you at the top in the app, it's at the top, and the web on the computer, it's top left. It says 8 events, and it will list the link there if you get lost. It's also in the members area. You're also going to get an email tonight, and you also get an email 1 hour before. So that's 4 places we're going to hit you with that information. All right, so we'll take care, guys. And anything else? I'm gonna go. All right, we will call it a day. See you tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Bye, everybody.